Hello, everybody. William over here with A.P.C. Photography, WDCD Media. I'm also with two, three, four different partnerships. That would be the Elite Collective, Converge Media, Promoso, which are freaking amazing, Service Solution, which they are also freaking an awesome team to work with. Oh, wait, that's five. Grand Rising. So representing seven different companies, and I love everything I do in AV production. So today we're going to talk about what it takes to get a mobile studio started. There's a lot of people out there right now who are looking at options to do A, a mobile studio for themselves, B, a mobile studio that can take the locations, C, I did that wrong, so it's A, B, and C, looking to build their own personal studios for their businesses. And I'm going to just kind of show you a couple of options that I think can get you going from an entry level all the way up to a professional level. I'm going to be picking certain pieces of equipment I think can last better and do a better job over other pieces of equipment for specific reasons, and each one has its strengths and weaknesses. So we're going to start off with the tried and true Blackmagic design setup. And the reason why we're going to do the Blackmagic design setup, it is one that is very easy to set up, very easy to have, the least amount of initial hard knowledge to get it going, and it's pretty portable and not supremely expensive to get into, and still have a professional setup for your studio in your office and such. So we'll start there. So the first thing we're going to probably need is an ATEM. Depending on which way you want to go, if you look at ATEMs here, I'm going to go with your basic live switcher. So that's going to give you the ability to have switching capabilities, record the program as it is, take in audio, and kind of go from there. We're going to go with that as your main starting point. Very easy to work with, pretty solid piece of equipment. As a switcher, it's basic. Left, 1, 2, maybe a computer, maybe something else. So I think this is a good starting point. Looking at about $325 to add that into your cart, and that's a good way to start. And then we're going to go, next is monitors. I'm going to recommend any nice little computer monitor or a TV monitor. Now, I have had great success with mini LED monitors. I really, really like the LED monitors for computers. They work really good. Let me put portable. And you'll need something where you can actually see the screen. Find one of these that's inexpensive. You don't have to be super expensive on it. I like the price range up to $150. And that's about as far as I want to go. I mean, you can use a ViewSonic. These will work just fine. They'll give you a USB-C monitor, RGB, and full HD. Add one of those to the cart, and you just have a nice little monitor sitting there to go with your ATEM. That way you can see the multi-view as you're switching. There's some integration with the ATEM too that's going to go to the cameras next, because what's going to happen is this is a system where you can run everything from your desktop pretty much. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to look at Blackmagic Studio cameras. So these can get up there in price, but these are not the Blackmagic Pocket 4Ks. Let me see if I can get one of those up there for you. Sorry. Pocket. This is really kind of like the best way to get one. See if I can find a Studio 4K. Do they even make them anymore? Did they stop making the Studio 4Ks? Oh my God, they stopped making the Studio 4Ks. So let me see what we can do for the pocket cameras. It's been a while since I've had to do one of these. Let's see, do they have a new one? Do they even have new ones? Huh. They may not have new ones. I might have to readjust this setup all the way around. I'm feeling kind of dumb at the moment. Please forgive me. So we're going to switch out cameras. We're going to go with OBS, bot, tail, tubes. There we go. We're going to go with these cameras instead. Really easy to take with you. USB-C, has their own built-in power supply. See, I pivot real quick as you saw that. That was a quick pivot. Controllable by your cell phone or by your laptop. You can control up to 4 of them at once, so it's really easy like to set them up and then just forget them. And the visuals on them are exceptionally good. You get 5 times optical. You also get a 12-time hybrid zoom and tracking positions you can put onto the camera, so you can have one camera wide, and if you have 3 people that are there, you can actually go back to the wide camera, tap on the position, and go to that person and lock into their position. So you have program spots. So it's pretty easy to use. It's nice to have as a wide and a telephoto camera. So I'm going to add this to the cart, and we're going to add a couple of them. So let's go review the cart real quick. We're going to add 2 of these in there. Then I would recommend you always have at least 2 angles, not 1 but 2. So we're updating this. We're not doing too bad at all. Now we need some microphones. You know, a good kit that I kind of recommend for any studio is going to be the Rodecaster Pro. And they generally come in kits. And I kind of recommend the kits because they have everything you need. Most of the times you're not going to want to have to figure out how to do all this stuff here. So having 4 microphones that are ready, having 4 stands that are easy to put on the desk, having the Rodecaster itself, the 2, and all the cables you're going to need except for 1 cable, I'm going to recommend this. And what this does for you, this will instantly set you up for a podcast or a sit-down studio setup. You'll see a lot of these. If you've watched The Pit lately, they literally had like microphone stands up. They had podcast mics, and this is what they did for their show on HBO for doing the pods. This is how the world's kind of changed the way we're doing studio work now, because it used to be you only had one way to do studio work, but you now have some flexibility in here. So where are we at right here? Not including much else needed, we're at, I think, just under 5K. Yeah, we're like 4,090. Next on your list is going to be a computer. You're going to need something to connect everything, make it work. You don't need a very powerful computer to do it, but it's nice to have one. Though, with this setup, you really don't need a computer. You just need some micro SD cards to record video inside the OBS bot tail 2s. So this one right here, let's pull that up. This camera actually has a slot right there where you can record 4K 60 inside this camera, so you're good. This one also has SDI, HDMI out. It can be a webcam. There's a lot of different options with this camera, so you're good there. So you'll be able to record there. You'll be able to take an SSD and record the switching as you did directly from the unit, and you can also record the audio. We really just need another $300 worth of cables, basically, and we're ready to go. Now, if you wanted to do computer for live streaming, then you're going to have to add a computer in there. And to add the computer in, you're going to need, I've had great success with Lenovo's. Now, I'm on a Lenovo right now. I do 6 to 10 hour productions on these Lenovo's all day long. They just work. Even their inexpensive models, do a really, really good job of getting the job done. Let's see. We'll go to laptops. 2-in-1s. I really, really do like the 2-in-1 laptops. They do a great job for just about everything you need. This is the equivalent of what I've got right now, but the newer version of it. So this is the new 255U. I wish it was an H, but the U works just fine for live streaming. 16 gigs of RAM. It has a 0.5 terabyte, and it has a 1080p screen. If you're concerned about that and you want to go spend a little bit more money, let's go over here. You can go from low to high just so we can kind of see. It really does just kind of jump up to like $1,400. You can do that, or you can do Mac Air. You can do a Mac Air. A little bit smaller unit. If you like Mac, you can go with Mac. Sky Blue is an M4 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, 8 core. It'll also do the streaming for you. There is some quirks right up front. There is some quirks with MacBooks if you're planning on expanding this to doing the full production. But if you're just looking for something to get the sound in, you're looking to get the video in, put it into the live stream like we're doing right now, then I'm going to say this is probably the overall, like, one of the best ways to go and get a solid, nice laptop for under $1,000. So, I mean, you can't go wrong. You're going to do right, and you're going to have a winner. So, solid all the way around. So, it's a solid winner right there. So, if you're interested in getting yourself a nice laptop to go with this for live streaming, we can add the MacBook 13-inch in it. So now, if you're really looking to do this professionally and get started, this will get you going right off the bat with sound, video, and everything. I would say add another $300 to $400 for cables and accessories that you may need, boxes and other small things, and you're going to have everything you need right at about $5,500, which is a really, really good start. This is your basic and going. Now, what would I change in this to make this a better overall setup? The first thing I would do that would jump this up incredibly on production level, when I say incredibly, I mean dramatically, I would remove this particular ATEM and I would put in Triac. The Cine Triac setup. I personally have had great experience with the Cine Triacs, and I would put you with two options. This one is just absolutely incredible. I'll explain what makes this one so great. For $699, we were bumping up our costs a little bit. You get a unit that has SDI, HDMI, screen on the unit, NDI capability, so taking in an NDI camera. So you can actually take in technically 5 sources, or NDI source in general. So it can be a laptop too. So this is really cool. You can bring a laptop in on NDI source. Hold on, brother. I did not see. Oh, you're talking about your black key that you had in your hand, right? You had it with you when you left. You can check there. Yes, I am at a location right now having fun. And I'm just throwing a live stream up. All right, so this one has SDI, HDMI, can run portably off of DTAP battery, which is really cool. Has 2 audio sources in, can be line level. It also has headphone jack out. Your choice of SDI and HDMI at the same time. For the money, this is where things get really, really good. You can record on the SD card or USB, your choice, inside the unit. You can transmit to 2 different RTMPs, or 2 different areas you want to transmit out as long as you got a stream key without needing a computer. You can control your PTZ cameras with this unit, and it has its own screen on it. So this is really cool too. So you don't have to have the monitor. So sometimes it's nice to have the external monitor for the preview or giving it to your producer to be able to see. or your client, and then you still have all control over everything you need to see from multi to the rest. You can do 2 picture-in-pictures at once, a super source, a chroma key. It seems like a solid beast. You can even use this as a media player, so you can put all of the videos that you need to onto an SD card or onto a thumb drive and play those videos in room or on live stream. So it really does set up yourself for complete success. So, for example, let's just say we're doing some videos in room that we cannot show the remote audience. We can have those seen in room from this unit playing with sound in the room and still have the camera views from the people who are in the room so you can see the reactions. This is actually one of the more versatile tools in my tool chest. And for $700, I recommend this one. Or if you want to have an all-in-one box and you don't care about the monitor going over to the client, there is another option in their slew, and it's a little bit bigger monitor, and it's this unit right here. So basically it's the same one we just looked at. It's $839. It's got great reviews on it too. Same PTZ control, same everything out. This one, yeah, it has the same outputs too, so you could do both the big screen, the SDI, and it's all enclosed in one piece for $839. Now, if you want to do that as a one mobile studio, we can do that. So this is multiple ways, same features, multicam control. You're looking at like a beast to be able to use this. So let's look over here now. So now we're sitting at about 5,600. And this would also control these PTZs. You'll need to put another $600 worth of gear in here. And why it's $600 is because you're going to need the Ethernet cables, a routing system, and a few other things. But now you'll be able to control those OBS Bot Tail 2s from this unit right here. Have them panning left, right, zoom in, zoom out. The big controls you need right there from the switcher. So, I mean, there's some huge positives. I mean, some great positives. But now we're sitting at around $6,000 to $6,100. We're adding $500 for cables and things like that. Now, what would I add to this to improve this total setup? Lighting. This is where you would look at the situation and go, well, how can I improve what's going to be the least amount of cost with the biggest return on investment at this point? We're going to start getting into lighting. Now, lighting can get expensive or not, and I'm going to go with a brand that I have found to be easy to use, very successful, has an app built into it, and does not fight you. And that's going to be the Amaran brand. And the reason I like the Amaran brand is it's easy to use and they'll be able to get what you need. So we'll go Amaran, and let's go look at some lighting here. So depending on what you're going to need, I'm always going to recommend, if you can afford them, get them 600 watt lights. They give you so much more flexibility. They give you so much more capability, and you only have to bite the bullet once on that. But if your budget doesn't allow for it, I'm going to say at least get the 200 watt lights. So it's going to be like the 200 watt Amaran for like $300. But I'm still like, if you can pull off the $600, do the $600 and get these. The Amaran 660 RGB lights and the monolight. I'm going to recommend this one, or I'm going to recommend, where's that other one at? That's a Halo. Or this one here, the Amaran 600. Save a little bit of money if it's just bicolor, and get this one. Let's go that way, because it's a brand new light. It's going to be pre-ordered, but it's still going to be in the system, right? So I can throw it in the system there. You are going to need some light stands. You're going to need some light modifiers. Frankly put, you're going to need 2 C-stands. I'm going to recommend 2 of those lights. You're going to need 2 C-stands. C-stands, this whole setup here is the best way to go. It has all the pieces in it that you're going to need for overhead shots, for all the tools. The impacts are good. Let me see if I've got one here that has the rolling wheels. Okay, let me show you why this is a really good one. This one has the knuckle and it's the baby pin in it, and it also has a camera hookup, so you can have the camera in different angles. So I'm going to recommend you grab 2 of these. Simple C-stands are $169 a piece. You're going to need 2 of them anyway. They work really, really good at getting the pieces you need. You're going to need some weighted bags. Recommended, not required, but highly recommended for them. And then we're going to need... Okay, what happened here? Did my audio just die on me? Let's see. Hello. All right, that was weird. Hopefully that cable's not getting bad. Let's do a quick sound check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so it looks like we have some cable issues there. Okay, we're going to get back to the bags here. So these bags are a really good bag to get your hands on. Oh, maybe it's just a connection issue. Hello, hello, hello. You'll need the 2 bags. It'll handle all the weight for you, and you'll be ready to go. I'm using wireless mics in a very high RF area, and sometimes you get signal issues. All right, so we're back in sounding good. All right, so we got 2 of those. Now we need some diffusers or light modifiers. I'm actually going to recommend... $16 by 48-ish. Okay, so that's a 12 by 48. That's a 24. Nope. That's an 80, which I don't recommend. That's a 3-footer. Okay, I'm going to change websites just temporarily here, just because it's a site I know has what I want. All right, what the? All right. Hopefully I don't have a bad cable here. I do not want to have to get another one of these mics this week. All right, so we're back on, and let's have some fun. So I'm going to change websites real quick here. Light modifiers. I'm going to recommend you go to Adorama. And we're going to go to Glow. We're going to go to Glow, soft boxes, and accessories. They have the best pricing for these, period. Said and done. So let me see if I can find the larger one I'm looking for. So 16. Here it is. So I'm going to recommend you get a 16 by 48 as a light modifier. And the reason I want to recommend this, or even a 36 by 48, these are really, really good for having a wide path of light to fill the area with the 600-watt lights. So you're looking at $200 over at Adorama for those glows. So we'll just kind of count that as that's just the way it costs for those over there. And we're just going to put 2 of these on here. So we'll just add in the extra cost and we'll just call it good. So now, keeping the same setup, but now this will allow you to handle every lighting situation you may think of or need. So now we're looking at roughly 7,800. And we've got lights. We're going to need some cables and a few other things. So the reason why you see me showing that, we're trying to find my brother's key here too. He lost his key. It happens. So now we're looking at about 7,800. That includes the taxes and the other $600 worth of cases and everything else we're going to need. And next on our list, if we were to just stick here, what would be some of the things I would change on this? I might add an extra one of these cameras in there. If we went to 3 of them. All right, is this just spiking my... Let's go over here and play with this real quick. Oh. All right, let's see if the auto gain was causing a problem. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. It was auto gain. Sorry about that, guys. It just kept spiking it. Anyway, let's get back to the fun here. If we put 3 of those on there, now you have 2 dynamic cameras and one wide, and that's all the same cameras. This unit right here can still control it. We're going to need some Ethernet cables. We're going to need an Ethernet port, so something that can handle. Let's see. So these are some of those professional ports I was talking about. You don't need to quite go that high in price, but you're probably going to need. I think this one will do the job because you only need like 5 ports. Nope. Let's see. Ethernet. Those are PoE audio ports. So essentially what happens is you take the internet in. We can just do a router for all that matters. So this gigabit router would be more than enough, or this one will be more than enough for what we would be doing, because you'd basically take in. Let's see, these are PoE compliant. So this one here would do the job for us. So this is called a PoE unit. Now this one would have the ability to send power to the 3 PTZs. Take the cable back from the HDMI into your unit, and then have the ability to control it for the PTZ control. So you definitely need this in the system, and it also work as your inlay for your internet into the system, which is a great way to go. So you got to be able to see everything on your MacBook and kind of run the whole system. So this is the way to go here. Now, some of you were asking, why haven't we gone to regular cameras? Why did we not do regular cameras? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go to regular cameras. Now, I'm going to explain why I didn't do regular cameras at first, because this is going to make a lot of sense real quick. These cameras I'm talking about that we started with can be set down pretty much anywhere because they got a nice little built-in base to them. They don't have to be put on stands. They get to be set on a flat surface in the room, and you get nice shots, or you can set them on shelves someplace in the room and have one that's like right on your table, and then you can just do your shot. You don't have to have tripods for them. That's why I went with these. A lot of times I walk around without a tripod when I have this, and I can just do my shooting and good. That doesn't mean I don't carry one as a kit, but a lot of times I'm just relaxing. That's what I have with me. Now, if we're going to be doing like tripods and stuff now, we can go to regular cameras, but we're going to start going up in some cost. What am I going to recommend for our starting cameras? This was going to hurt some people's feelings, but I'm going to recommend Sony. You know what? I want to make some people happy, though. If we really had to start off, and you wanted to start off with the least expensive way to jump into this and still have a decent camera to do it. No. I want something that's professional. I want something that's going to actually have S-Log 3 or a Canon log that's, a good Canon log. So we're gonna start with the Sony ZV E10 Marks II. All right, so we're looking at, there's always a kit for around at $1,300 a piece. There's always a kit right around there that has extra batteries or something in it. Look for one of those. Get yourself one of these kits. And the reason why I recommend this camera is it can get you a professional black-looking camera. Its audio input is excellent. Has the option for using the Smart Shoe on it. It has the same sensor as the FX30 with a lot of the same recording options too. It has an all-intra. It has an S-Log 3 recording option in both S-Cine Gamut or Gamut 3, which means you'll be able to get a professional color grade out of this if that is what you want to do, and you're just recording it. So, overall, that's one of the things that's going to be so phenomenal on this, and you're going to love that part. It has the ability to monitor LUTs. It can do 4K 60. It can do HD 120. So it's going to give you a lot of extra options. The one that we're looking at should be the $12.99 version of this one, which is this one here, which will have your 16 to 50 or your 24 to 70 lens, which will give you your wide to your tight, and it's a nice power zoom lens. It has the power zoom rocker controls. There's an app to control it too, so there's a lot of different options. It's not as good as an app for controlling it as is in the PTZ camera, but this allows you more expansion on lenses and a few other things. So if we were to take out the cameras we have now, put these in place, we would need the small rig cage. So we'll need a couple of these cages. And then we'll need the small rig HDMI to micro HDMI. cable. See if it's easy. There's an adapter you can get for these. It's not the B. There you go. This one right here. And this is what I recommend for all cameras that are in cages. I don't care if it's HDMI to full-size HDMI, HDMI to the small HDMI. This protects the cable. Someone will kick it on the set. And this, I recommend this even for like the Blackmagic cameras and all the rest. This protects it completely. That unit right here takes all the damage. So this would take all the damage. Your main port would not take the damage, and that's the reason why I recommend it. So that's going to be the big plus here. So we're going to get all these pieces, and then I'm going to need stands. Now, here's what I'm going to recommend. Tripod, video, fluid. Frankly put, this is one of the best little cheap fluid head stands out there. It is a 6 foot tall stand. Aluminum. You're going to have fluid head controls on it. You're going to have just a solid starting stand. You can't complain here. So you're going to have a nice plate on it. You're going to have the ability to have like extra screw-on points. You can do that on both sides. It's standard plate size. You're going to have the ability to pan, tilt, and do it smoothly, control traction. For $150, it's the best stands you can get without before you jump into a $500 stand. It used to be the Benros was ones I'd recommend, but this stand came out after the Benro, and it's a better stand in my opinion. So it's the way to go. All right, let me get these all into the right quantities. And like I said, there are some extra cable stuff you're going to have to get down the road, so can't help you on that. These already have memory cards and stuff, so that saves you some headaches. And then we're going to get rid of the PTZs, and we're going to remove these. Now we're sitting at just at about 10.7, 10.6. Depending on the accessories, or 10,500, right around there, depending on the extra cables you choose and stuff, based on your needs. But this is all you're going to need to really just have a solid setup. Why do I recommend these cages? I have been on many, many sets where a camera's fallen down and it's still functioning because the cage took the punishment. And that makes a huge difference. So if you're doing this setup, this will get you going all the way through, and you're solid. This will set you up for doing real productions, live stream productions, and all the rest. And now we're starting to get into the 10 grand area. So what do we do next? If we wanted to step this up another notch, so we got the ability to run the computer in it, we've got the ability to run 3 cameras. What would be my next step? What would be it? I would, lenses. So there's a couple different lenses that I have in mind. You want to make sure you have a wide and a tight. With this system, with the power zoom in it, there is an older Sony lens. If you get them used, you can get it for like $500 or $400. If you can get it brand new, it is a kit lens that used to be part of the FS7s and the FS7 Mark IIs. It is the 18 to 105 PZ right here. I would Oh man, this has been a workhorse lens I've had for a while. Oh, this 18 to 105 will give you the wides and tights you need. This has been a workhorse lens of mine that works on projects that are on Fox affiliates, national known organizations, and things like that. It's just a workhorse lens. It's an f4 lens. It's not super fast, but it's just super consistent. Has a really good look to it. It doesn't overdo anything, and it just gets the job done. I would update to these lenses. Or if you want to go with manual lenses, and you're like, I just want, I like having a little more of brighter lens, and I just want to be able to do that. There's a Tamron 17 to 70. This lens right here, 2.8, super nice lens. Use this on a Sony. The This lens will work great on the Super 35s. You're going to be super, super happy. So the FX30 or this, and you're going to get great quality. It's a 17 millimeter 270, which is the equivalent of 24 to 105, which is just a super solid lens. Because that's what I use on my full frame of 24 to 105, and you're just going to come out with a great solid look. I'd recommend 3 of those. So if I was to update anything, I would get those lenses, and that would push us into the $12,000 range, and you've got a completely made studio. So I've been on like 40 minutes plus, and I appreciate everybody who's watched. I've had a little bit of audio issues in here because there's some RF in here, and I can't change the fact there's RF. And RF is just radio frequency interference, so it's hitting this microphone pretty hard. But I get why. I'm over here to Layla Resort and Casino, so it's a pretty cool spot to be at, and I'm relaxing watching some sports, and I thought I'd throw this out here. I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes or so just building the last of this set out so you can see what it would cost if you were to have all these lenses. So we're going to throw those in there. And we're going to go with a really, really inexpensive VND. A 2 to 8 stop is a good way to go. And this will really make sense for the times you're outdoors with these lenses and everything. Put 3 of these. So, barring any other add-ons or any other cases and things like that, I would add another $1,000 to this for cases, cables, and whatever else you need. So you're looking at about $13,000. Let me walk you through what you're going to have here as a full production setup. You're going to have a monitor for your switcher or for your client. The switcher doesn't need a monitor. You're going to have the Rode. Oh, I need to add one more thing. If you were going to do, just in case you were doing some videos just in general, like commercial videos, so we do Rode Wireless Pros. We'll add a set of those in, so you have lavaliers and microphones with a built-in recorder, so you don't have to buy an external recorder. And then we're going to add in, you're going to need one gimbal just in case you're doing some gimbal work. Solid gimbal for that is the Scorp. The Scorp 3, actually. There's Scorp 3. This one here is just a solid, straight up gimbal. It does the job, handles the weight, and will work with those smaller cameras without you having to spend a ton of money going up. I've used the Scorps for a while. I'm super impressed by them. If you saw the video I did today, that was a vertical with the cell phone. That was done on the Scorp unit too. So we're looking at, where are we at right now? $14,000. When we add the light modifiers and any other accessories and stuff, we're looking at roughly 14,000. Because remember, we got the two that are sitting, the light modifiers, the better ones are the glow ones that are sitting over at Adorama. Not everything comes on the same site that they're going to have. That's something that they have as a contract that's just, I have to say, it's phenomenal. I've had nothing but success with them. I have, I think, like 7 of those glows. They're just awesome. So this setup would allow you to do commercial, live, all the rest. Someone going to probably ask, well, why don't I have a monitor? Why don't I have those things there? If we wanted to add monitors, those are going to be up to you. Because you can do them without monitors on those cameras. It's as simple as that. And remember, this is an entry kit. This is a mid-entry kit. We can go even further, and this is a multi-camera entry kit. And this is, $14,000 that allows you to go live stream, live production, podcast, do a commercial for somebody. This is a whole around package. And remember, when I say $14,000, this includes getting cases, extra cables you may need, all the rest. So, and those, you definitely going to have to plan for about $600 to $1,000 worth of cables, cases, and everything else to make everything fit together. So I thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all. You did not have to be here. Subscribe, follow if you like. If you're on LinkedIn, let's connect and have a talk and a conversation. And beyond that, y'all have a great day. We're going to go ahead and what do they call us in the industry? We're going to fade to black now. See y'all later.